T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5 Foot Viking podcast, where we get to drink a beer and learn something new. Super excited for tonight. I know I'm a little bit late, but like I said, I'm in this brand new studio. I don't know if you can tell, I've got some lights. It's kind of cool. I got a little light back there, and I'm super excited because tonight I have my very first guest in my new studio. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Carin Knight, the lady of the night. Seriously though, Carin, I just want to say thank you so much for being the first guest out here. We've been out here for 2 weeks, and you've been a big, very close friend, pretty much family, and our closest neighbor for the last couple of years. And it's been kind of lonely not being able to throw a rock at your window or come over and say hello. But I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. And
Yep.
I told you as soon as you went, I was coming over and hanging out, and here I am.
She's moving in, ladies and gentlemen. So, also, just so you guys know, I'm barely getting started with this podcast in the studio. So please feel free, leave a comment. Let me know if how everything is sounding, how everything is looking. Just want to, really want to bring the best that I can, and I'm learning right now. So, we got a lot of people jumping on. You are super popular. Did you know this? I posted a flyer, and it was reshared, and people are just like, people are logging on. People love to see Carin Knight. I'm so glad that you're out here. This is all. Let's jump into some of the comments here. The
Thank
first
you.
one, Eddie Stevens, even before
Hi, Eddie.
Eddie, let's see, is that going on? Oh, there's Marlene right there. You guys look and sound great. Thank you so much. And
Yes.
yeah,
Hi,
Eddie,
Jessica. My niece Jessica.
we got a lot of Eddie Stevens. What up, Whit? What up, Carin? Albert,
What's up?
Alberto, one of the biggest fans. Thank you so
Hi,
much for
Alberto.
always being here. Therese, one of my good friends. Good to see you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Jessica Knight.
That's my
Now,
niece.
that is a last name that sounds very familiar.
That's my niece Jessica.
That's your niece, Jessica. Jessica,
Yes.
thank you so much for hanging out. You're the best. Um, Eddie Stevens, bring her mic up just a little bit, or you can get a little bit closer.
Seriously, Eddie, you want to hear my voice louder?
Yes, we do. Just bring up the gain on that just a little bit. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Kim, hey, Kim, how are you?
Hey, Kim.
Thanks for hanging out. And Rodney, too. Oh, we got a lot of people jumping in here. Cheers. And Jessica, I love your new podcast, too. Oh, Jessica, that's the best. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Love
that.
you.
That's awesome.
Carin Club, Kim, we're getting to that.
Yeah, let's get this. I love this. The hashtag Carin Club. And that's Carin Club with a C, not with a K, just so you guys know. Okay. And then my good friend, Mr. Ed Namrock. Dude, it looks so aesthetic. Come on,
Thanks,
dude.
Ed.
You know I can't even read, and then you put a word up there that's spelled AES. Like, I can't even say that. Aesthetic?
Aesthetic.
I think so. Aesthetic.
You're right.
But hey, thank you, man. I'm getting there. I just ordered some lights, and I'm doing some cool stuff. So moving things around. My friend Billy Mondragon down the street hanging out here. Looks great. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Um, we got, oh, this is great. We got Alberto chiming in again, having an old fashioned with a cigar, watching the podcast as usual. I love your regular Tuesday. I think that's great. Um, Mr. Schlitt, my drama teacher from sixth grade, always chiming in.
Aw,
Love it. Thank you
hello.
so much for being here, Mr. Schlitt. I appreciate you. Um, I don't know where my dad's at,
Hey,
but
there's Dad. I see him.
is Dad here?
Yeah, there he is.
Where?
Right
Oh, there
there.
he is. Dad chiming in. Here's another familiar last name. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
you know what was so cool is that I've had your husband on, Christopher Knight. I had him on in the very beginning stages of the podcast,
Right.
and unfortunately, I was learning, and the audio was crap. It was so bad that I had to do a 2.0. And so I had him back for a 2.0, which was great because I mean, your husband's an incredible dude, just like you're an incredible woman. So
Thank you.
it was super fun to have him on and for the second time. And then in this last maybe like 10 podcasts he's been on, I had his brother, your brother-in-law, when we talked about brewing beers. And now I have you on. I had to joke about it's like the hat trick, like I'm bowling. I got 3 strikes in a row. It's
Oh, there you
I
go.
got the
Yeah.
3 nights. It's great times.
And the Petrels are mine, Marlene.
Where are we at? What is that? Oh, Marlene
The Knights
posts
are
up
my
here. She
favorite
says
people.
the Knights are some of my favorite peoples. That's absolutely true. Ronnie says awesome studio. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Annabelle, hey, how are you?
Hi,
Hello.
Annabelle. Hi, Eileen.
How are you? Skull. And yes. So speaking of Skull, um, let's
Yeah.
get to the first. Well, before we get to the first segment, let's jump into the ticker down here. Just to let everybody know, you can go to the 5footviking.com, and it's a landing page where you can look up the Twitter and the Instagram and Facebook and the YouTube and like all the good things that are 5 Foot Viking. And I know I say this every week. Merchandise is coming. I swear to God, I swear I am working on this. I have this shirt. I only have maybe like 3 or 4 shirts, but I'm working on it. There's a lot of stuff going on in our lives, but I hope to have that out this month. At least by the end of this month, it's going to be ready to go where we can do pre-sales and do pre-orders and all that good stuff. So please stay tuned for that. And with that being said, we're going to jump into our first segment, um, which is, let me pull this up, the beer segment. And I think this is what we're going to do right here. I want some beer. I think I'll have some beer. I fucking love this beer. I'm going to drink this beer, bitches. I love that. I don't
That's
know if you
great.
guys can hear it, but we couldn't hear it. For some reason, I can't hear that on my end. But today's beer of the week, we are drinking. And for those of you that know Carin, do you realize how difficult it was to get her to not drink Bud Light today? Even though you're still drinking Bud Light. But today's beer, we are drinking Coachella Valley Brewing Company. It's a blonde. It's the Golden Blonde Ale, and it's 4.7%. So here's yours. And you've got a very awesome Viking mug here.
Very excited.
Yeah. So, and if you're drinking at home, please let me know what you're drinking. I'm curious. Are you, Alberto's drinking a scotch or a whiskey with a cigar, which is good. Always good. I like that too.
Where's my brother-in-law watching me drink a non-Bud Light beer?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Where's Kevin?
They're rehearsing.
Where is Kevin? They're rehearsing, so he's gonna watch this on the
Oh no,
flip.
they're gonna take a break. I hope.
Okay,
I think.
that'd be awesome. That would be really cool.
Ooh.
But you know what? Rehearsing is great. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, this is the Coachella Valley Golden Blonde Ale, 4.7%.
Whew.
Skull.
Cheers.
I'm gonna get your reaction first. What do you think?
Not bad.
Okay, but not good.
Not great.
It's not Bud Light.
It's not.
It's not Bud Light, but
I was a total.
take a second one. Take a second. Take a
Eileen.
second. See, I'm good with this. What do you think?
It's okay.
Okay, it's okay. It's not your cup of tea, but
I'm on camera. I
all
don't,
right. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay. Hey, I like to be authentic here. So, uh,
It's all
pers-
right. But I'm I'm a beer snob in the opposite direction.
yeah,
So
the most watered down, the better. Is that fair enough?
it's
And
actually not bad. It's
yeah,
pretty good.
well, that's why I knew that you were going to be the guest. I didn't want to. I don't want to go out and get some, you know,
Dark milk
hazy
shake.
IPA, dark whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. And you're like, no, not going to drink that. So I want to get something that was, similar to a Bud Light. But
Cool.
anyways, so we got still got a few people jumping in. I love this. This is great. I'm gonna try and get to some of these comments real quick. Eddie wants to talk bass. Yeah, that's actually we should be talking that in a little bit. My buddy Alex, what's up, buddy? Good to
Hi,
see you, man.
Alex.
You're gorgeous bearded bass player. I love you too, buddy. Um, oh, Grace, how are you? Good to see you on here. Looking good. I like the studio. That's nice. Beer. I love all the comments. This is great comments right here. Jessica, she is a golden blonde, so it's totally fitting. I
Thank you,
am with
Jessica.
you on that one. Um, what is this? Rodney says, I need that for a ringtone. I love beer. Good times. All right. So with getting through the first segment and having a drink and you know introducing my guest and my friend, I say guest, but you're really family. I want to jump into the first segment, which is or second segment, really the first for you, which is backstage with Carin. And for those of you that have watched or seen this podcast before, you know that the first segment is really just I want to dive into a little bit more of like uh, I know you very well, but a lot of people that are watching this for the first time or listening to this for this first time don't really know a lot about you. So let's go way back. So have you always been like a West Coast girl? Have you were you born and raised out here? High school, college? What? Take us through. Where'd you come from?
Born in New York, moved to Virginia when I was 12, raised in Southern Virginia from 12 through college.
Okay.
Went to high school in Virginia. Was
Hold
a
on a second. Okay, we need to back up a little bit. You're going way too fast. You're born in New York.
Yeah, upstate.
Well, okay, so you don't have that like New York accent.
I don't
Did
know,
you ever
man.
have
Like,
that?
yeah, when I was younger.
No.
Yeah, and then I moved to Virginia, and I had a little bit of a Southern accent. I don't know. Some people say like, you move here and it evens out. I don't. I guess that's what happened because, you know, some of my family like total New Yorkers. Some of them, like my nieces and nephews, they have that Southern accent, so it's
Mhm.
it's kind of strange. But yeah, but I was raised in Virginia from 12 until, you know, I moved to California when I was 26. So
Oh. Oh,
yeah,
so what was your 21st birthday like in Virginia? Because I
I
know
was
21 out here, everyone goes to Vegas or everybody gets plastered by the beach.
well, I went to a bar in Norfolk, Virginia that we used to go to all the time. And our bartenders, well, I shouldn't say this on film.
Why
Like,
not?
you
How
know,
long ago was that? 10
uh,
years ago, 5 years ago,
way long ago.
7 years ago.
He was like, I love it when our regular customers come of age.
When our regular customers come of age.
So yeah, so I went to ODU in Norfolk,
Hmm.
and then I wanted to move to California. So
Yeah.
my best friend from college lived in Malibu. He was going to Pepperdine and uh, lived with a girl roommate friend of his named Amy.
Hmm.
And I moved to California when I was 26 and lived with them in a 2-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood. And it's
Really?
all downhill, or
Now,
all uphill from there,
well,
actually.
yeah. Well, when you moved out here, did you move out here like and had a job or
No,
no? You just moved
I
out? Just
saved. I was talking to my mom about this the other day. I saved like 3 grand, I think, at the time.
uh-huh.
My car, my stepdad like fixed my car up for me, just all juiced it up, did everything I needed to do. And when I moved here, I had enough money for like rent and bills for like a few months or whatever, because that's literally how I live my life still to this day, a couple months ahead of time.
Yeah.
But but I got a job when I moved here as I was telling you earlier, like a assistant apartment manager in Hollywood. And that was like the first job that I had when I moved here. But I was out the door at Coconut Teaser and the whiskey. I had a pager. I was all like, "What's up? I'm a guitar player." I was playing guitar more at the time. I want to be in a band. I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing. I had a couple friends here. Um, Bill Kennedy was a producer and
Mhm.
dear friend of mine, took me everywhere. And so I had a couple of people that I did know, and just went
Well,
out all the
did
time.
you
And
when you so because you came out here and you wanted to play guitar, did you start playing guitar? Um, like when? How old were you when you started playing?
I was 16 when I took guitar class and I started playing, but I wasn't in any significant bands back home. Like I played with a couple of people, a girlfriend of mine that I'm still friends with. We did a couple of like little shows and stuff with our acoustic
Uh huh.
songs, and we wrote a couple things and everything, but there was not much going on for me musically out there as far as like how it is here.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of want to play and get into the biz, and so I left. And my best friend was very adamant about me coming here. He's like, you don't want to stay there. You need to come out here,
Yeah.
So, and obviously,
Yeah.
Amy and I are,
Still to this day.
besties to this
Still.
day. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Mm. Let me jump into a few of these comments real quick. We got some people talking about what they're drinking. I love this. Angie's drinking Diet Pepsi. I think that's
Eileen's
great.
drinking Bud Light. Of course she is.
Eileen, Bud
That
Light. Yes, indeed. My dad always with the vitamin water up in St. George. Ignacio, good to see you on here, buddy. No beer for me, but I'm
Eddie.
sipping
Oh
some
my God.
tequila. Cheers. I like that, buddy. Good times. Um, Eddie Stevens. Carin is a boss bitch backstage, and I love it. That's absolutely true. And you know what, Eddie, we're totally going to get into that too. That's
And he knows too. I love you, Eddie.
yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
one of the next segments that we're going to get into is that whole thing.
Uh,
And my dad says,
where in
where
Southern
in Southern Virginia?
Newport News is where I went to high school. I went to college in Norfolk, ODU,
Mm-hmm.
Old Dominion
Ah,
University.
okay, sweet. And then did you graduate or you just bounced?
I bounced.
Okay,
I got my 2-year degree.
okay, sweet. Hey, degree is a degree.
Before I left
Bottom line.
Virginia, I wanted to at least have the 2-year, but honestly, never used it.
I have mine.
Yeah,
Not using it.
yeah.
I'm working on my
It's good to have, though.
bachelor's.
I know you
Don't
are.
know if I'm going to use it.
Yeah,
but the knowledge behind it is really what I'm after. Anyways,
absolutely.
But
Yes.
but then we're so then you come out here, you move out, you're hanging out, you're getting connected with with Hollywood. You're living in North Hollywood.
I lived in Hollywood when I moved here,
Okay.
and then later when we all kind of went our separate ways from being roommates and stuff, I moved to North Hollywood, and that's when I actually met Andrea, and then I joined Thunderstruck, and
Okay,
and all
let's
of
talk
that
about
stuff.
this because we did I create a banner for this? I did not. We'll go back to that. But so because I want to talk about we're going to get into the booking of the bands and the behind the stage part, but before we do that, you're a performer and you're a musician. You started off as a musician before you started booking stuff. So the first band that you really like got into out here was Thunderstruck.
No, I was in a couple of punk bands before that, playing bass
Mm-hmm.
and guitar. So nothing ever really went anywhere. I had an original band called Cleaned
All right.
because I love Stained, and way too long of a story. People that know, but anyway, had an original band, but we played at Troubadour, Whiskey,
Yeah.
pretty much everywhere except the Roxy. I've never played the Roxy, but
Mm.
Viper Room. We opened for LA Guns at the Anaheim. What's that place
Yeah.
called? And it was with Joe Schultz, the Anaheim.
Oh yeah, the
something
Shack.
Shack.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
did
I
some
remember.
original stuff then, and that's what, like, I wanted to be in a 3-piece band, with guys. But I had a female singer, and she was amazing at the time, bass player, and I played guitar, and we did really well. And then I played bass in a punk band for a while, and then I kind of fell into the whole Thunderstruck thing. I met Andrea, and we,
So how did that happen?
so Andrea and I were friends, and met through, her ex, and again, way too long of a story, but
And Andrea is
Andrea's the bass player of Thunderstruck.
okay.
And she brought me in. She was just like we're moving forward with, we're, gonna start this new AC/DC tribute, all girls. We want you to be a part. or she wanted me to audition. So she came over and she said, listen, let's go over the song. So we did. And then I met Stephanie. And then it was like, whew,
So you guys butted
Steph
heads?
and I, no, we were just like, her and I were like
Oh, you
tight.
would?
Yeah, she's number 3 on my phone still
No.
to this day. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys were just golden.
Yeah. All of us, really. I mean, like Andrea and I are still one of my best friends
That's awesome.
to this day. I did leave the band after 10 years because but
Yeah.
didn't want to travel and stuff anymore. It got too much. We did a lot of stuff.
Well,
So.
as soon as you joined the band, like, was it just like hitting the floor and running with
Yep.
it? Like you guys just did.
Yeah.
I remember you guys were doing a lot of touring. You guys were doing
Yep.
a lot of traveling.
We did the AKA tours, so like
USO
right behind
tours.
you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like literally right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back,
Afghanistan.
what is that, 2002?
We did 05, 06, and 07, I believe.
Okay.
Well, I did. They went to Iraq. I did not go to Iraq first. And then I went to Afghanistan twice. And then we did the Balkans and Germany.
You did Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Wow. I never did that. We never did
twice.
Afghanistan. We didn't do Afghanistan and we didn't do Iraq or Kuwait. We ended up.
You did Bosnia,
No,
Kosovo.
we did Bosnia
Balkans.
and Kosovo.
Okay.
And we did the Balkans.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah,
so we like I said, we were right behind, like after you. I think. Yeah.
We did that, and then we also did Korea and Japan. But once they started opening up, like Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff, they kind of stopped doing a lot of the Japan and the Korea stuff, and they were focusing just on Balkans and Iraq and all that stuff. And man, it was crazy. Like that was some Road Rage Rudy and
Road Rage Rudy.
You remember Road Rage Rudy?
Of course.
Road Rage Rudy.
Oh my God! I wish Stephanie was watching.
Road Rage Rudy was the tour bus driver, and literally, I think if you guys did the same thing that we did, we flew into Germany, then we flew into Austria, but then we took a bus from Austria to like Bosnia, and then Bosnia, like Sarajevo, and then into Kosovo.
Oh yeah, we did the same.
Okay,
we did the same
and
thing.
the bus driver, his name was Road Rage Rudy, and this dude screamed at everyone in a different language that we didn't understand. It was the greatest thing to watch.
And then he would turn around and be like, "Hello, love." Like he was like, it was cray cray, right? Oh my God, Road Rage Rudy.
It was great. He was funny because you would be having a conversation with him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's really nice over here." And then he'd start screaming at somebody in front of you, and
wow, that's some memories.
Yeah, that's some
good
good
that was
stuff
a long
right
time ago. Yeah, so we did all of that and a lot more. Cray cray.
So that was with and I'm assuming you did a lot of stuff here in the States as well.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of festivals, Minnesota, Montana, Washington State, like the Moondance Jam, which I think they're doing like this weekend or last weekend.
And during the time that you're with Thunderstruck, did you work with other bands as well, or was that like your main thing?
That was it for me.
Yeah,
that's really all I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't.
Oh,
there was no.
So before we get too far into the future, when did you meet your awesome husband?
I met him.
Were you on stage with Thunderstruck? That'd be so cool.
Of course. I met him and Kevin at Palladino's in Tarzana.
Yeah.
And we were playing a show and they came up to promote Damage Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like late 2004, 2005-ish. Chris probably knows more than me and Kevin too. But we were playing and they brought their little CD. Chris actually walked up to me and gave me his little, demo. He goes, it's actually a really funny story. He's like, I have a Metallica tribute. Here's my CD. I was like, I just grab it. I go, do you do the old stuff or new stuff? And he's like, a little bit of both. I was like, old or new, dude?
To Kevin?
To Chris.
Oh, to Chris?
I was like,
so you were looking like this.
Yeah.
You were like
I was
looking
like, old or
straight
new?
up at him.
And he's like, old. I was like, okay, cool.
All right. All right, we can be friends now.
That was like our meeting. Yeah. And now we've been married for
Well, how long did you guys date before you guys because you guys are
3
so
years.
cool together.
Yeah, thank you. We were dating from like 2005 to 2007 and a half, and then got engaged. Then I moved to Orange County.
Yeah.
Then we got married in 08.
Wow.
August of 08. August 8th, 2008.
It's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be in Sturgis. Thank you.
Very
I
cool.
don't care.
Very. It's all good. It's all good.
we celebrate when we can. We married each other as musicians. We know what's up. It's like,
Yeah,
it's all good. So,
that's so cool. That's
yeah.
awesome.
He's got a good family too.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
brother-in-law's cool.
He's all right.
Sister-in-law's cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
They're all cool.
I don't know about the brother-in-law. I got him. I've had him over my house. No, I love Kevin. Kevin's great.
Kevin's awesome. Kevin and I actually became friends first. We were, we talked all the time because I was running, Thunderstruck with Stephanie, like just, doing all the booking and stuff. Like Steph did major booking stuff for us, but I would help her with things and we would be the managers on the ground and, stuff like that. So Kevin and I, would talk a lot. Kevin had a lot of questions, about booking Damage Inc. because they were not that big then.
No,
They
no,
were
no.
amazing, but they would open for us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
they're killing it.
They just like blew up,
Well, a lot of that has to do with you as well, and we'll get into that. But let me jump into a few of the comments. Eddie Stevens, I met you through Thunderstruck
Southgate
at
Eddie.
the Southgate Park
Are you
Auditorium
kidding?
about 20 years ago. That's awesome, dude.
Wow.
And Eddie Stevens also,
show.
he did
Oh,
Afghanistan
Eddie.
in 2006. Wow, that's
Oh,
awesome.
wow. You know what? I think I knew that.
Yeah. And my buddy John, good to see you on here, buddy. Big Wit, hope you're well, brother. I am. I'm doing really well. I'm acclimating to the desert. It's a little bit weird. Weird thing though, I'm trying to find a CrossFit gym out here, and there's nothing, bro. There's nothing out here. So you're gonna have to send me some exercises, and I can do some stuff out here. Jessica, she says, you must have been looking up at him like this. Good one, Wit. That's true. When you're looking up at him, he's giving you the CD.
I literally was, Jessica.
And you're like, old or new, bro?
Yeah, that's like literally one of our jokes in our marriage, like old or new, So yeah, it's always a thing when he's playing the new stuff for the Metallica.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
here we go with the new stuff again.
Are you gonna do Battery?
And then my wife chimes in. We married musicians. We celebrate when we can.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, that's very true.
She knows.
That's awesome. I appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of musicians out there appreciate that as well from their significant others. So when you started playing and you started playing music and you were doing this, you met Chris. You guys got married. He was doing his band. You're doing your band. When did you leave your band before you started booking other bands, or did you start booking bands while you were still playing?
Well, I took over the Damage Inc. booking before I left Thunderstruck for Kevin because they started getting bigger and he was like, so Damage
Inc. Did you book
was
for Thunderstruck as well?
Yeah, I booked some shows. Like I said, Stephanie was the main booker for us. But yeah, I did book some shows and I, worked with her on everything. I'd go to Stephanie's house and this is like before the internet and we would put
before the internet,
put the packages together and flyers and mail them to places and things like that, So I did a lot of the PR and, it was always her and I doing all the stuff. So, but then, so that's how I learned a lot of
So that's really
things.
where you got your education as far as like the behind the scenes stuff.
Wow, there's so many things going
behind
on
the stage,
and nobody knows what's up. Like, oh, the drums aren't right or the guitar head or whatever, when you go, because we did a lot of flyouts, a lot of backline.
See, that's
gigs.
difficult when you put in your writer, for whatever company is out there. And hopefully beforehand, they let you know if they can accommodate what's on the rider or what their second choice is.
Right.
We can't give you the Aguilar head, but we can give you the SWR head.
That's funny. That's what Andrea used, actually, Aguilar.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so then Kevin asked me to take over for them because he couldn't do it anymore. He was, his job was a lot and they were starting to get big. It was starting to be like, they were getting pretty big and, it's like, okay, cool. So that was pretty much the first band that I started booking exclusively like that. And to this day is all me, you know, like anything that comes through. And of course my band. So I have, I had Thunderstruck for a while and then I left in 2014, I think. So I stayed for 10 years, only because of the travel and things like that.
And when you did leave, you're obviously still best friends with everybody and you maintain those relationships. And then and at that point you were already booking Damage Inc., booking Thunderstruck, and then did you start booking other bands as well?
Just my own at the time. I didn't book other bands. I just knew a lot of bands, and I would like recommend bands, and
Okay,
we were all like,
this is a good transition right here. Let me jump into the things. Let's go into the next segment, which I wanted to talk about, which is booking bands.
hey.
Check me out with my transitions, ladies and gentlemen. And because we had a conversation earlier, we went out to the pool. We were talking. You came out early today, which was awesome. Thank you for coming out early and hanging out. But it was great to really kind of get understand a little bit more about that process, because when you are booking Damage Inc. and then you started now. I mean, as of right now, I know that you're booking multiple bands. You have a Nirvana band, and you have a '90s band, and you have a Pumpkins band, which you're playing in as well. But then you have a Pearl Jam band. You have all these other bands that you're booking at different places and different shows, and you put different shows together.
Right.
So, how did that all start? I mean, I know.
Well,
Hold on. I know that you said it started with booking Thunderstruck and then booking Damage Inc. But what was the turning point that where you started getting multiple bands and putting shows together and doing stuff like that?
well, basically the Live Nation events really started that. I think just putting, because when you take a House of Blues show, I become the promoter and I have to put the bands together, and I have a list. I have to get a list of bands, and then I have to have them approved by Live Nation to how the whole system works. So I would have a ton of bands that wanted to play with Damage Inc. or whoever, and Vitalogy and I, we became friends around that time, 2014, when I was on my way out of Thunderstruck doing the Pumpkins with Michael, and the whole thing, and we all started a little like community of 90s and metal bands, and of course, just like Priest, always family. And so I would try to put bands together that I knew that I was friends with for those Live Nation events, and then that kind of started that.
Okay.
Just to answer that question.
Okay. Very cool. And and you're still doing that to this day at multiple venues.
Yeah. Yes.
And you have something. What is it called? The .com.
Just us productions.net. That's my site now.
A little bit about that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So what happened was,
oh shit!
Over the years,
take a drink real quick.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself for what's happening.
Yeah. And we'll get into the talent buyer booking. But I've been booking Gaslamp for over a decade as well, with the owner Michael, one of my best friends as well. And we met a lot of bands and done a lot of things. And during this time of playing in these 90s bands that I'm in and booking, and Eddie knows, swap meet, things like that. It's like you learn who's cool, and who you want and who you don't, what you want and what you don't. Now I handpicked some bands because I was getting asked a lot about recommendations for who do you think for this show? Who do I was like, oh yeah, here's my Judas Priest band, here's my Metallica band or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I really need them all in one spot. I just don't have time to keep going around and around with these people. Just like one spot. So Tone, drummer of Damage Inc., was awesome and created a website for me with most of the bands that I chose on there. So now when people ask, I just give them the site. Everything's there, like everything, start to finish. Their promo.
What's the website again?
Justusproductions.net.
Justusproductions.net. And that's like a one-stop shop for all the bands that
the bands that I recommend right now. Yes. Okay. That's got the Pearl Jam and the Nirvana and everybody. So.
Okay. So, and I know, well, and I'm saying because I have a, I love it. Jessica jumps in here and she goes, "The video is glitching. Is it just my screen?" And then 2 seconds later, she's like, "Oh, it's better. Never mind." Thanks, you, Jessica. I appreciate you. Oh my good friend, Mr. Adam Van Dyke. Oh man, I love you, brother. It's good to see, and I love seeing the vacation that you just took to Costa Rica. Man, I want to go with you, bro. Next time that you go, me and Marlene are tagging along. That's for sure. I love the new pad, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. My dad chimes in real quick and he says, imagine booking bands in quote unquote the old days, pre-personal computers and telecommunications. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember this. I remember this back in the late 80s, early 90s. I was a little bit um I barely. I, I really thought I was born 10 years too late.
Yeah.
I should have grown up in the 80s, but I've band members and friends of mine, they're like, we remember like the 80s movies walking around parking and putting, and going to Kinko's and putting up
Oh yeah.
flyers and
Yeah.
put flyers on people's, cars and seeing rival bands taking the flyers, their flyers on. I mean, it's
Stay down to the poles on Laurel Canyon.
right now.
Uh,
But, but,
yeah.
oh, uh-oh. I don't know. Maybe the video isn't great. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still dealing with a brand new face, brand new internet, and brand new everything. So trying to make it happen, but
Ooh, that's pretty.
it's great. So justusproductions.net.
Yes.
It's where people can go and they can look up band that you recommend. How's that work? They go to the website, they look up, and let's say because I have a police review band, let's pretend that my band is on your website. If someone goes to your glitching, audio is screwy, glitchy, video glitchy. Okay, sorry, guys. Doing my best. Fix the audio. I'm trying. Sorry, Steven. Not. That's just me. That's just me.
Check, check.
Can you hear it? Is that on both sides?
No, I can't hear anything.
Can you hear your at all?
Yeah, I can hear me.
Oh, okay.
I can
fine.
hear you.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Steven. Doing the best we can over here. Hopefully it's still going decent. Oh, it's glitching again. Thank you, Jessica. I think it's what happens when the 5-foot Viking and the 5-foot Mafia collide.
Can we talk about the 5-foot Mafia for a minute? Because
that's so awesome. You know what's funny? This actually happened when I was hanging out with Kevin.
oh yeah,
This happened when I was hanging out with Kevin. Um, it was just for some reason, I don't know if it's a
thank you guys for telling us.
yeah, no, we appreciate
know?
it. I think it does happen every now and then, Steven. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thanks for okay, Angie. It's better now. Cam. Okay.
So I want to talk about the 5-foot Mafia because
Yeah,
it's
we
hilarious.
got to jump into this real quick.
Just really 5 seconds. Damage Inc. was down in San Diego having dinner, and something happened, and somebody said something nasty about my brother-in-law, Kevin, and it was not nice, and it was online, and I knew the person that owned the place of what was going on, that this guy thought he was going to roll in and do, like video or something like that, and called him, and it was done. The he was like, he won't be welcome here, that's your family, blah blah blah. So I text my husband. I go, "It's taken care of." And
It's taken care of.
So Chris tells them the 5-foot Mafia has taken care of, whatever. And that's literally how that came about. So my website was going to be the 5-foot Mafia. But
You're Italian.
oh yeah,
Like, are you full blood Italian?
full
Like,
blood.
oh wow. Okay, that's some
Yes.
scary shit right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
See, 5-foot Mafia versus the 5-foot Viking right here,
So
ladies
that's
and
how
gentlemen.
that's how it came about, though. So
Just for you. You know what's funny though is that like this whole here we go. Jessica even says it must be the curse of the nights. You are so right in more than one ways. That's so
funny,
because
Jessica.
literally the first time that I ever had audio problems was with your husband. And he's a singer and he sounds amazing, but for some reason I had audio problems. It was my fault. and then I got to have him 2.0. So I had him at 2.0. I think that one went well. Had Kevin on, everything started going like robots. Like the audio started
I
sounding like
remember that.
robots.
Yeah.
That was so weird. And then now I've got you on, and now we're having problems. It's glitching. So we've got we took care of your husband. Then your brother-in-law, he's the robot, and you're the glitch. So
There you go.
we're gonna have to have a 2.0. We haven't even finished the 1.0. So, but
Get my
I
notebook
love
over
that, the
here.
Curse of the Knights. But so back to booking bands. I wanted to talk about, let's say that my band is on your website, and let's say that Jessica Knight. Let's say that Jessica Knight is visiting your website, and she sees my band and she sees the Police Band. She's like, "Wow, I really like those guys. I want to hire them for a party." How does it go from there? Does she contact you directly? Does she contact me directly? And how does that work?
If they contact me through the website, then I will call you
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have a conversation and see what,
Make it work.
what you want to, they want to offer and, how we want to work it out or whatever. If they contact you directly, it is what it is. I mean, I can't do anything about that except for the people that I have chosen. If they say, I got your, information from this site or whatever, you're going to call me and let me know. Every band that
Yeah.
I have is going to call me and let me know. It's not like anyone's going around anybody. And you know
Yeah.
what? It just is what it is.
Yeah, but I'm sure that
The
you don't have people on your site that don't have integrity,
of
and
course,
everybody's family.
that's
So,
why I
I mean,
did.
trust me, we're
Yeah,
family. So if somebody
of
called me
course.
on the side and said, "Hey, I saw you on the website on justusproductions.net," I'm going to know that they saw it through you. So I'm not going to be that guy that goes around you.
Of
And I'm sure
course.
you don't have bands on there that are going to do that
No,
anyways. So
no, I don't. And that's why I did it. So, you know,
that's really cool. And
yeah.
that's awesome that you put together a one-stop shop for anybody who wants to
It's
come.
it's it's awesome, and Tone did a great job. And I just want to say that Just Us came from Frankie and I from Just Like Priest.
Hmm.
Like we started to do Toys for Tots at Gaslamp, which I know we're going to get into the talent buying, but
Yeah.
Frankie and I, and Thunderstruck, we used to do Toys for Tots every year at a venue in the Valley. Just Like Priest, Thunderstruck, Damage Inc. We all did it every year, every year. And then Frankie and I were like, we wanted to find a place to do it at, down here. And, Faunastock found Gaslamp and we ended up doing it here for a few years. We did it. And Frank and I were like, it's just us. It's just us. Just one night, in the hotel next door, we're drinking beers. We're like, just us. And I was like, just us. That's all it is, dude. So that's where
So
the
that
name
was
comes from.
so you had conversations with him drinking like that, just like how me and you have drunken conversations on the kitchen floor productions. Like,
Yeah, a little bit. With cell
so
phone, I wake up and there's like all my old cell phones are on the counter. Okay, for real, dude.
oh,
Like,
okay, we won't get too into this, but because we were neighbors, uh, on my night off, I would probably go over to their house and have a few beers and hang out. And then once we had too many beers, we would end up on the kitchen floor with her notepad,
and people and people
and she
that know
has
me,
one.
they know that. Yeah, and yeah, the small one.
Yeah, but in the kitchen, she literally had like a small notepad in a drawer just to write down ideas that were happening at the moment. And we would get hammered. And next thing you know, it was midnight, 2 in the morning, something like that. And we're sitting on the kitchen floor and we're talking about doing taxes and how are we going to 1099 people, and what.
And what how did you used to do it? The old cell phones. Remember the old cell phones? Let me go get all of
Yeah,
mine.
she went and
Like,
got all of, and she literally, ladies and gentlemen, Carin Knight is the biggest hoarder ever, and she needs to listen to last week's podcast about hoarding because she has
yes,
she
Marlene.
she has all of her old cell phones from the 90s, like the Nokia. She has that
If everyone,
indestructible Nokia and
yeah,
the flip phones and she's got all of them.
I kept them all.
That's on.
Yep.
Do they even work? I can't remember if we
Oh
turned them on.
yeah, man, we plugged them all.
That's right, we did. We were hammered. We were that drunk. We plugged them in.
I have the phone, the Nokia brick phone of my first text message from my husband.
Oh my lord.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay,
I
we're
was
gonna have
at
to
an
take a pic.
Oriole game with my brother, and he texted me. He actually, yes, Jessica. He texted me. He actually called me, and too long of a story, but anyway, my brother answered the phone. Hello, my baby
We
brother.
got some
Yeah,
good
he did.
stuff. Oh, my sister. Oh, my sister's chiming in. Zach Morris phone.
Hey.
The Zach Morris phone. And Jessica, she hoards shot glasses, people. Or is that collecting?
Yeah, it's a
Actually,
little.
you're gonna have to listen to last week's podcast, because last week's podcast, I was in this studio unpacking boxes and going through things that I wanted to keep,
Oh, that's right.
and
Yeah.
things that, and we talked a lot about the difference between hoarding and the and collecting. So but that's a very good one. Oh, Shannon.
Shannon.
Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Hi
Hey,
guys. Mike
Mikey.
E. Shannon here. What up? Looks cool. Thank you so much for hanging out.
I
Appreciate you
love you
guys.
guys and miss you so much.
Absolutely. And my beautiful wife chimes in. Best ideas happen when you're drunk. This much is very true. That's why we're literally having this podcast, because I think I was talking with Marlene about doing something like this after I was on my good friend Edgar. He has a podcast called the Ed Namrock podcast, and he gets a little uh controversial and political, and he does things like that. That wasn't my game. I didn't want to do a podcast where I
Yeah.
get political. That's just, you know, there's too many people talking politics out there.
Yeah.
I wanted to create some place where people can push away from that table for a minute, just drink a beer and have some fun. So, but I learned a lot from him. And when I was on his podcast, I remember talking with my wife, and I was hammered. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do this. And she goes, yeah, you should totally do this. And then it took like 4 months worth of planning.
And here we are.
And here we are, podcast number 28 with
Oh,
Carin Knight.
cheers.
Skull, everybody.
Yeah.
Skull. Thank you. We got a few more. Alberto, we miss you, brother. We need to see you guys soon. Yes, indeed. Yes, we definitely miss performing and definitely miss being out there. And Shannon, love you guys too. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for being here. So we talked a little bit about like booking bands, so booking bands at different venues. So that's more concentrated on you representing the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump into the next and the last segment that I want to talk about, which is booking venues. And I know this is oversimplification. Sorry, this beer is like, it's got some carbonation to it. It's like, it's getting me there. But and I know that these banners are a little bit oversimplified, but booking venues. So when you're booking bands, you're representing the artist. Now, when you're booking venues, you're representing the venue. You're representing the owner and that. So I know that you book for a few different venues, but I know Gaslamp is one of the dominant ones that you book for, and you've been there.
That's the main one.
Yeah, you've been there you're a staple there. You've been there for a long time. You've done a lot of shows, and not just music. You've done comedy. You've done, I mean, what else?
A lot of benefits and things like that. Yeah.
So when you started getting into that, how is that different? I mean, I know that you're looking out for the individual, but how is that different from, or when you're booking bands, you're looking out for the band. When you're booking venues, you're looking out for the owner. But how is it the same and how is it different?
It's so weird to, be on both sides.
Yeah.
But after, because what had happened was we did what had happened was we did like I said, Jeff Honestock is I owe it all to him for meeting Michael. He brought us in to do the metal jam there, our his autistic benefit that he does every year. We do it there every year. We've done it since 2011. That's how we met Michael, and him and I hit it off immediately. Again, best friends to this day. But I started booking bands for him there, and seeing like I never really like the bands that I work with and that I've booked and that I've been in over the years have never been that guy. Like, I want $5,000 and I only bring 20 people. You know what I mean? Like it's never been like that. So it's always been cool to me, but there are bands that ask for that much money and they bring 20 people, like literally, you know. So
Okay, we're not going to name any names.
no, we're not, but I mean there are, and they're national acts, and there are comedians, and there are, tribute bands, and there are cover bands. Every band, has their situation where they ask for a little bit too much and, don't produce. So on the venue side of it, I need to make sure to looking out for Michael that, the venue's making what they need to make, and the band is going to do what they need to do. Now there are a lot of times where it's like, okay, cool. We got these guys, and a big part of, you know, playing at a venue and getting asked back and dealing with, you know, all of these things is being cool, promoting, don't violate the radius clause, like those kinds of things that I
What's the
never did.
radius clause?
So when you book a show, usually you shouldn't book another show in the area within a few weeks, depending on what you're doing and who you are. Our rule at Gaslamp, well, I actually made the rule. Everybody knows this, but like in the beginning, because I was like, because Michael wasn't very familiar with a lot of the tribute scene at the time. I kind of brought that in for him. Um, you do one show within 30 miles, 30 days. It's like, you do one show in LA, you do one show in San Diego, you do one show in Orange County. Keep it away from, the other ones. So the 30, 30, 30 radius clause is just that 30 days, 30 miles, you know. So we always implemented
for
that
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years on either side. 30 days on either side is what that is. So
oh, so it's actually for 60 days.
30 prior, 30 after.
Yeah.
That's a standard for anything. Now there are times when it's like, okay, you guys, they call me, they say, I got this, $7,000 gig offer down the street, 3 weeks and 2 days,
and we're only
or whatever.
playing one song.
Yeah. It's not going to be, so we work things out and stuff like that. But anyway, that it doesn't matter. Most of the bands, again, that I deal with, that we book, don't, violate that, or they do the right thing. They promote their shows, they put it up. So on the venue side, you put up a show, you put the tickets on sale, you co-host the band, like when a band, you do this,
all the
co-host
time.
the venue. So we co-host the band. Now if that band doesn't accept the co-host, the band doesn't even have to do anything. Just click accept. That's it. Then it's on your page and it's cool. Just do a post here and there or whatever. Bands that don't do that, I kind of lose it. I get really mad, and it's like, come on, you guys,
hey, you want to have a successful show.
Yes.
And it's not entirely up to you. It's up to the band as well. The band should jump in. The band should ask their friends to jump in. There should be a bunch of people jumping in and say that. And actually, I'm going to jump into this real quick. Jessica Knight, she says, okay, this may be off topic, but I think your beard is so cool, Wit. And I just want to let you know that for the 5 Foot Viking, anything that talks about my beard is absolutely on topic. So anybody out there that has any comments for the beard, as long as they are positive and reinforcing, then you please keep posting. I'm still debating. I don't know. I'm getting to that point with the beard. Should I keep going, or should I trim it up and make it?
It's up to your wife, actually.
See, I don't know.
Right, Jessica?
I don't know. I love my wife very much, and if she didn't like the beard, I would be very.
I think she does, though.
I'd be very sad, but I feel like I still might grow it. Like not in spite of it. It was more like I like the beard. I think it looks great. It kind of comes with the image. It's creating a good image for me. What does my wife said? She goes, no, it's not. It's not off topic. And Jessica says, braid it. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Kevin Hamill. Wow, how are you, buddy? We're bringing Maine to California. Kevin lives in Maine. That's like the furthest away from where we
Oh,
are.
wow. Hi,
Like
Kevin.
the furthest away from where we are is where he is in the United States. That's
Wow.
awesome. Good to see you on here, man. I miss you, brother. Good to see you. Um, but he says to keep the
Keep the
beard.
beard.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. But here's the thing: I've been growing this beard since November, and I trimmed it once before. And it's pretty. For those of you that are watching, I highly recommend going to YouTube and just taking a look. It's, in my opinion, fairly impressive. What do you think, though? Do you think that if Chris were to grow a beard like this, would you be okay
I
with
thought we
it?
were
Oh,
talking
this
about
is
booking the venue.
no. Now I'm going to change the segment real quick. Let me type this in. I'm going to ask you just a real off the top of your head. What do you think? If Chris were to grow a beard like this, would you be down?
I'd be packing.
You'd be packing.
I'd be moving in with you.
That's awesome. Sorry, Chris. I'm hoping, you know what?
Hi, Joe.
I'll tell you what. Oh, Joe, what's up, buddy? I love this. Hashtag Carin Club 2021. That's awesome.
Yes,
Good times.
absolutely.
Oh, we got Kevin. How are you, buddy? Hello, dude. You're the man crush, but next to her, wow, great podcast, guys. Love it. Thank you so
Aw,
much,
thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it. And then Annabelle, don't talk. I can't read that. I don't even know what that says. What does that say? I don't know. I think that might be a
She
typo.
will explain. It's all about the beard.
Okay.
Oh, so I do. I do want to tell you about my band.
Don't talk about the beard.
Annabelle, I love that you're on here.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually, Annabelle, are you at rehearsal?
No, she's not.
No? Ah. If anybody is at rehearsal or can get a hold of anybody at rehearsal, please let me know if anybody from Damage Inc. has an iPhone. If they have an iPhone, please
Yeah.
let me know who has it and how. Frozen, at least on my end. Ah,
Brightwell.
Brightwell has a iPhone.
Yeah. Love you too.
Love you, Annabelle. I'm sorry, Angie. She says it's Frozen, but I'll tell you what. Uh, you have to say, I love this. Kevin, he says, you have to say Aborigines.
Oh my God.
Like Crocodile Dundee. It'll make sense then. Aborigines. Kevin, stop it, dude. Oh, you're killing me. Okay, Annabelle. Okay, I'm trying. No, I'm trying. Okay, my husband has
Yeah.
an eye. Okay, so if he has a phone, if they're taking a break real quick, let me know if they're okay, because what I would love to do is I can send them a link where they can jump on to the podcast with us. I'd love to see their their rehearsal, even just for
Text
like
all of them,
a few.
Annabelle.
Just
Yeah.
text everybody over there.
Yeah.
Throw like a smoke signal or something, like, and that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
it'd be fun to
They-
get them on for just a few minutes, just to say hi. But
Yeah, we'll see. I texted them earlier.
I'm sure they're super busy getting ready for something and all that stuff. But thank you.
Yeah.
But so let's get back to booking the venues. Now, we've been talking mostly about booking venues with regards to music. Now, because you're a musician, I'm a musician. That's pretty much what we've done in the past. But now that you're booking with a, am I doing this again? Is it my? I'm telling you, I apologize. But now when you're booking on behalf of the venue, you're doing other things like comedy and stuff like that. So how is that different? Like when you're booking a comedy act?
Well, yeah, we haven't done comedy in a while at Gaslamp, but it's different, and there's less people to deal with. There's no gear, just the
Yes, right.
microphone. But there's still all the same things. You got an agent, a manager, and you got the promotion side of things. That's a big part of it. You still have to like see it all through.
So do you deal mostly with the comedian or mostly with their manager?
It's been different. There's been a couple that, like, Doug Stanhope, he has a manager direct. Jim Brewer had an agent and a manager. Dice, manager and him directly, so there was a lot of different scenarios for the
Dice?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that show?
Oh, I think we had him 3 times. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved me, Italian from New York. He was like, what's up?
It's
you
like
know
my people.
yeah. His manager was awesome. Did sold out shows, of course.
Hmm.
He lived in LA, and he has two sons, and that had a band at the time, and they opened for him. It was super cool. He was super cool. You know, all the comedians that we had were very nice and awesome.
Hmm.
And less gear to deal with. But we're
Yeah.
not a comedy club, so it was hard. We had to pull. We pulled the drum riser down, and
So
the
do you deal with all the logistics of that,
yeah.
or oh,
Yes.
so you don't just deal with the agent or the talent or the manager, but you also deal with all the stuff on your side, which is like the sound engineer and the tech and the staging and the seating and
For
all
the
that.
for the most part, yes. I mean, the restaurant side of stuff is not my thing. The configuration of the room, the reservations, those type of restaurant, food menu, all of those types of things. But the ticket sales, how they're going,
You deal
promotion
with
and
that
things
as
like
well?
that. Well, just keeping an eye on it.
Hmm.
I don't put them up. We have somebody that well, we had somebody that was putting them up for us. We haven't, like I said, we haven't done comedy in a long time, but I have done it
Well, we
all.
haven't done
It's
a
like,
lot of stuff in a long time.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I know, right? Um, but yeah, for Gaslamp, Michael handles a lot of that,
Uh,
logistics and things like that. But
have you done stuff where I, I know we're already on the booking venue side, but I want to backtrack just a little bit because we've talked about managing bands, booking bands at different venues, and then now we were talking about booking the venue and on that side. So you're kind of dealing on both sides. But how different is it when you're doing travel stuff? Like when you're doing like when you do you book a band like at a venue that's on the East Coast,
mhm,
or you've done that before, and how
yeah,
does
yeah,
that work?
damaging plays all over the place now. Um, well, you do the same thing you do at home. You give them the booking requirements, and if they,
But do you have
you
to
know,
take care of all the travel and all the hotel and all the like? There's it seems like there's so much more work involved for you because
for
I've
the
been on.
travel shows, well, so like I was telling you earlier, it's different for every band.
Mhm.
Damage Inc., Kevin and Tone like to be uh the ones to get the hotel rooms and the flights and things like that. They want their own, they want to get their own times and things like that. So I don't usually book the travel for them. I'll help them, find things if they need me to, but they like to do that part of it, themselves. Unless the venue's getting them, then we have to approve everything, right? So there's times, everything's different with every time,
Yeah.
every show is different, you know,
So there's
there
not like a like a certain itinerary of stuff that you can just go down. Like, okay, we got to check off all this stuff,
check it all off, but it's
but
who's
it's
doing what.
different for
Right.
everything.
Right. Like a venue I just booked them at has they got the hotel rooms, the venue instead of the band.
Hmm.
So it just depends on each thing.
Yeah.
That's you know what makes it
Do you ever
tedious,
have
but
to do that when you're booking the venue? Like, does anybody ever come out and they say, "Well, we need flights and hotels and stuff"? If you're booking a band that's from the East Coast and you're booking them out here,
I don't really deal with that. No.
yeah,
I
that
you
seems
know
like a massive headache.
we could have done that a few times, and we talked about it. Honestly, like what happened was a lot of national acts that are would be cool to have and fly in and things like that. I mean, Gaslamp, like I said, I'm the talent buyer at Gaslamp, so that's like my main, place, and I put these events on at other places. But for Gaslamp, we're like, 600-700 capacity, depending on how he sets up. It's a little too small, it's a little too big, right?
Okay.
So it's a little too small to have a, $10,000 band come out, and then we spend $10,000 getting them here. It's like it just doesn't make sense capacity wise for ticket sales. Um, tribute bands that are decent and local. That's what we do, and it seems to be working for the capacity that we have, in the ticket sales. So that's why we've been doing a lot
Mhm.
of
Okay.
those guys. You know.
Well, I love it. Let me jump in real quick. Tawny, she said, Dice was great. I was at one of those
Oh,
shows.
nice.
That's awesome.
Awesome. My parents came to one.
Really?
Yeah, they
No
were out
way.
here and they met him and everything. It was awesome. My dad thought he was
And then
cool.
Rodney says, you do a great job in the bands you book. Keep up the great
Thank
work.
you, Rodney.
Steven says, Fight Clubs. I'm not sure what's that referring to. Is probably about 30 seconds ago or a minute ago. but you know what? I'm down with Fight Clubs too. Shit. And then Kim says, um,
Okay.
are you going to start
Yeah.
selling 5 foot Viking Steins? I probably should, right? I mean, these are skull. Why is it? It looks painful for you to drink this beer.
I know.
You got to fill.
Is Eileen still here?
You got to fill it. You got to fill it with some Bud Light for you.
Okay,
Yeah, I think.
now I can drink my Bud Light, right?
Yeah, some 5 foot Viking Steins would be
The
great.
best venue to play in Southern California. Well, I mean, Gaslamp's pretty
Loving the new
awesome.
look. That's from Craig Kyle. Thank you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. I love this new look as well. And this is the new look. Thank you so much for being here, Carin. And Alberto says, what's the best venue to play in Southern California? And I would say you would have to put a couple other stipulations on that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what's the best as a musician? The best venue to play for customer service or stage or lighting or sound, or
Yeah.
there's so many factors that go into that, because there's some small venues that I absolutely love,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
some big venues that I absolutely love for different reasons, you know.
Exactly.
So I'll say this. Let's ask this question. What's the best venue you've played in Southern California and why?
I mean, Gaslamp is my home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sound, lights, everything for me. And it's like, my best friend's venue. So it's like, that's pretty much my favorite aside from House of Blues, you
Mhm.
know? I mean, but the swap meet's pretty cool too. It's like,
It's,
I don't know,
there's so many places that just have there's great things about so many places. So it's
yeah,
kind of like,
yeah,
how do you choose one? You know,
yeah.
for me, it was probably the first night that I played at, or not the first night. Actually, no, the first night that I played at the House of Blues in Hollywood, because that's the first, and it's not there
I'm
anymore.
sorry. The best venue to play in Southern California was Sunset House of Blues. Literally my favorite
Right?
show ever, ever, ever. Yes.
Wasn't it amazing? And I can't
Amazing.
believe they tore it down. They
Amazing.
tore it down.
Yes.
Some bullshit. And
July 2nd, 2014, July 3rd, something.
yeah,
My favorite show.
sad. It's sad that it's gone, because I
Very.
remember the first time we played there, and it's not in here yet, but I have a plaque that I'm going to put on the wall that literally has a big picture from upstairs of us on the stage. I bought a keychain from the House of Blues that night, and I kept the Ticketmaster ticket, and I put that in the frame. So in the frame is all three of those. And I
should
got
do
all the
that.
band members to sign the frame. And that was when so it was Steel Rod, but it was Steel Rod and C Funk, because we combined two bands. Steel Rod was me, Rod, and Johnny.
When? What year?
This is God, 2001, something like that.
Okay.
Long,
Yeah,
long time ago.
I played there with Pumpkins,
Uh-huh.
the Great Pumpkin, my Smashing
Yeah, yeah.
Pumpkins tribute, and Vitology and Nirvanish. That was the night I met Nirvanish. All the
No
guys.
way.
We had a blast. It was literally like my favorite show, and I've been around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And I absolutely love that show. Those guys, we had so much fun. I had so many friends there, from
Mhm.
all over LA that came to see me, um, and we were one of the last shows there at that venue.
Yeah.
Damage Inc. did one, And then,
That's so cool.
Steel Panther did the
Yeah,
last night or whatever, and then it was done. I was like, "Are you
I
kidding
went to
me?"
that. They were there on Mondays.
Yeah,
Wait, I went
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
That was all. It was me, Ron, and Johnny, and my good friend Oscar Macias. I can't remember who else. He's the one who got the tickets for us. It was amazing.
That's
But
awesome.
the first time that I played there, that was so. Al, Alberto, to answer your question, the best venue to play. I'm gonna change up the question just a little bit, but the best venue that I've played, with circumstances was, back in 2001 when I played at House of Blues in Hollywood, and that was the first time I ever played there. And I remember getting up there, rocking out, tripping out on a sold out show of like 1,200 people or 1,500 people, whatever the capacity was, because
950.
oh well, they told us that there was over 1,000.
It was probably was.
They probably let in more people than they should have, but it was amazing. That was so much fun. And I remember after the gig, tore down my stuff and you're on this high. And there was a couple of the people that worked there and they were hanging out. And I said, "Hey, do you guys mind if I go back up on the stage?" Like, I didn't know. I was new to the venue, and I was asking the sound guy or whoever was doing that. And I said, "Hey, can I go up on the stage real quick?" And they were like, "Yeah, like, you're in the band. Like, of course you can. Don't worry about it." Like, it was probably nothing to them. But I remember going up on the stage at the end of the show. Nobody was in there. Everybody was gone. All the stuff was off the stage. And I remember standing on the stage just tripping out. Like, it was almost like I did this.
Hmm.
It was so weird. And that was like, and that was so, there's so many other stories because we played there multiple times. I played there with my dad on Father's Day. Like,
Nice.
yeah, we did a Father's Day gig, Steel Rod. Rod brought his dad out. Johnny brought his son up on stage to play. I brought my dad up on stage to play keyboards.
Oh,
It was super cool. We did that. We played the day after Prince. And up in the foundation room, there was still purple shit all over the
oh
place.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, hands down, the House of Blues in Hollywood
Yes,
was the greatest.
yes,
That's for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, right. Everybody's in agreement. And Steven, I know we're backing up, but he says pay-per-view nights, fight nights. Let's do this. Jessica, Bud Light is the chaser to the blonde beer. So drink the blonde and then you get to chase it with the beer, with the Bud Light.
Okay.
Oh, Debbie, hey,
Hi,
good to see you
Debbie.
on here, Deb. How are you? Good to see you, Steven. The newer House of Blues. The one in downtown. I know that
It's
there's
okay.
to me anywheres there's, like I said, with anything there's positive and negatives to everything, right? The Hollywood one to me as a musician was a super positive because it was a blast. The negative side was driving there, parking. That
Yeah,
was a rough one.
yeah.
That was really rough. So with the positives to downtown Disney and being in Anaheim, it's easier to get there. It's easier to park. It's easier to walk inside. There's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe as musicians, the backstage isn't as cool.
This one's cool. This one's actually better
I
than the
haven't been to
last
the
one.
new one. I've been to the
Yeah,
old one.
yeah. I don't know. Now that I just keep thinking about that Hollywood, like, what the hell did they
Right?
do, man? Come
Man,
on.
that was some
That was
magic there.
so much, Anyway.
So much magic there. Um, Marlene says, Hollywood House of Blues was my very first concert. Dream Theater. I was 19 and it was 21 and over, of course.
When our
and
regular customers become of age.
and she had, yeah, when our regular customers become of
That's
age.
awesome.
My dad, it was June 20th, 2004. Oh, I think that's the day that my dad played with us at House of
That's
Blues. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's jump back into this booking venues. Okay. You know what? I think we have definitely outlived what I thought we were going to do. We're already at an hour and 15. So
Oof.
we are going to wrap this up. Um, but before we wrap this up, I want to turn the stage over to Carin. Carin, please let us know, what shows you have uh, that are coming up. Some things that are happening at Gaslamp, some things that are happening in your personal life and in your personal bands. Let us know what's going on. The stage is yours.
Okay, well, immediately here we have this Saturday, July 17th. I have 1,000 Horsepower, the Godsmack tribute at my place in Huntington Beach. At Gaslamp, we have Memory Lane, Alice in Chains tribute, my boys. Electric Funeral, also my boys. Lose Your Illusion, Guns N' Roses tribute. July 18th, Sunday, OC Fair, Damage Inc. and Noise Pollution. I'm just going
Yeah.
to roll down. July 23rd, Toxicities at Fantasy Springs. July 24th, Just Like Priest, Project UFO are at Gaslamp. And Damage Inc. and Core are at the holding company in San Diego. Core is my STP tribute. I say mine because
Yeah.
everybody's my band. July 31st, Tiki Bar, Costa Mesa, Vitalogy, Memory Lane, and Seattle's Best. Seattle's Best is my grunge tribute. We're a tribute to grunge.
I like
We
it.
do covers, but we're a tribute.
Do you wear
to-
flannel?
I do. We
Nice.
do. Well, I try to get them to. Right, guys? And August 7th, Memory Lane, Nirvanish, and Vitalogy are going to be at Storm Stadium in Lake Elsinore. And the big one for me is August 21st. Seattle's Best, Noise Pollution, and Damage Inc. are all playing Catalina Island during the day. Between 1:30 and 5 p.m., we are all playing our little shows, little sets. And then at night, Strangelove is going to play the night show.
Sweet.
Depeche Mode tribute, my boys.
Now,
do.
where can everybody go to see these events? You go to Facebook or a link?
Just go to my site and you can go to each band's. I don't have a calendar for all of it, but that's why I'm just rattling them off. GasLampLongBeach.com for Gaslamp, DamageInc.us for Damage Inc., and JustUsProductions.net for all the other bands' information.
Actually, let me put that up real quick.
Yeah.
So people can see it. Just Us Productions. Is that right?
.net. Yeah. .net. Yep.
.net. All right. JustUsProductions.net. So you can go there. You can look up all the different bands that are on there. You can look up their calendars. You can look up and see where they're at. And wow, that's awesome. You got a lot of stuff happening.
A lot of stuff. And I'm teaching swimming.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to that. Well, that's going to be the 2.0. All right, the 2.0, because we came out here and we were swimming this afternoon. But Carin, you teach swimming. You teach people how to swim.
Yeah, babies.
That's amazing. You've been doing this for how long? You know what? We're going to get into that next time. All right, we've been doing this for about an hour and 20 or so, but I just want to, before we go, I just want to thank Carin so much for making the drive out here. I know it's a bit of a drive, and it means a lot that you came out here and hung out with me today, and we're on my first guest on the 5 Foot Viking podcast here in the studio with the lights and the good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the 5footviking.com and the 5 Foot Viking podcast. Appreciate the support. And, you can always check everything out at the 5footviking.com, the Instagram, the Twitter, what else do I have? The Tinder. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a Tinder. I'm happily married. I don't have a Tinder. I have the Facebook and the YouTube and all that good stuff. And you guys can check me out. Oh, you know what? Special announcement for all 6 of you watching. I'm going to be, next week is going to be a different time, different schedule. I should have said this at the beginning. Damn it. I'm really, I need to get on this.
Blonde.
I need to get, too much of this golden blonde ale, which is really good. But anyways, next week, I'm actually going to be doing this on Monday. I'm going to be doing my podcast on Monday, still at 7:00, but I'm going to be trying it out on Monday. Hopefully you guys can join and join us live and interact. I really enjoy the interaction with everybody. Thank you so much for all your comments, all your fun stuff. And we've got a lot of good people jumping in here.
Just look at Jessica's last comment.
Where's Jessica? Jessica. My aunt's brain runs 1,000,000 miles a minute. This much is very true. This much is very true. And Kim
True.
says, um, Carin, thanks for
Oh,
all you
thank you,
do.
Kim.
Absolutely. Uh, so, uh, once again, just want to thank everybody for being here. Want to thank Carin for hanging out with us,
Thank you,
and
Whit.
we are going to end this and go have some pizza. So, um, yay! So,
Yay.
anyways,
Thank you, guys.
I think this is how you end it.